What's going on, Electric fam? Welcome back to the channel. On today's vlog, we're riding solo around Irwindale, Santa Fe Dam area. It is just me today, and I thought it was fitting that I do a vlog about this Ariel Rider X-Class 52 volts that we've had for end use for about 500 miles now. With that said, let's cue in the intro. Probably start off with talking about the cons first, and then I'll go over the pros. To me, the biggest cons are the suspensions. It's a reverse front fork suspension, and honestly, it only moves like about 1.5 inches travel. So even after like dialing the suspensions, trying to adjust it to my comfort zone, there's hardly any travel in the front, and actually I could say the same for the rear. You can see here, no matter how much I press it or go down curves, it only moves about 1.5 inches. Granted, I'm not as heavy. I'm not a heavy rider. I'm only 157 pounds, but still, I really like test these forks down curves and jumps, and it only moves like 1.5 inches. And these coil suspensions here also don't travel a lot, no matter how much I change the dial around. What else can I say about the cons? The cons, oh my gosh, flat out, the seat, that stock seat that came with, really for me was not comfortable. It was like 1.5 inches taller, and it was slightly wider, so I couldn't really, I had to tiptoe to reach the floor. I'm only 5'7" foot. I'm pretty short. So I immediately changed that to this seat. A lot of bikes out there, the stock seats are never really good or comfortable anyway, so something to consider. I changed that out immediately. This was much nicer for me. The lights, they're not as bright. It feels like it's only a 6 volt. I'll turn it on right now, even though it's still pretty bright daylight. It feels like it's only 6 volts. It's not as bright as other tail lights or headlights. You can see here, this also looks like it's pretty, like a 6 volts only. I'm not 100% sure, but I know 12 volts lights will be a lot brighter than that. This bike is front heavy, so because your battery's here, other bikes I can kind of like lift up easily, right? This bike, it takes a lot of effort to lift it up. What else can I say? The brake pads that come with this bike, it's so noisy. It squeals a ton. You have to apply like something else to kind of get that noise out of there. After a while, it gets really annoying, and kind of ruins your riding experience with those noisy brakes. So I fixed that. So it's a minor fix. You could apply some kind of brake fluids. What else can I say? There's not a lot of cons on this bike, guys, because of the value of it. Your contact points with your seat and with the handlebar, it feels like, for me, I would like my handlebars higher, so that's something you can maybe consider. You could just change out the stem, change out the handlebar to make it a little more comfortable, or a more comfort riding style. Because right now, for me, it's too low, the stock handlebars. For me, it's too low. For a while, it was okay, but then in considering other bikes, I found this a little bit on the uncomfortable side, because you always have like an aggressive stance. So this is what I mean by front heavy. It's really hard for me to like lift the front wheel up. I could probably just lift it up maybe 4 inches from the ground. Whereas my other bikes, or even the Super 73, I could almost loop out to a wheelie. This is like 86 pounds. Slightly lighter than the RX and slightly heavier than the Super73 S2. We're just kind of leisurely riding today. I didn't charge my bike all the way. We're starting off with 3 bars today. And 3 bars should get me 25 miles-ish. What else cons can I say? This display setting doesn't really, it's not colored. It's pretty standard, but I like the small form factor. It doesn't get in your cockpit way, your dashboard. It came with a twist throttle, but I prefer the thumb throttle, so I have that setting. And it doesn't come with a horn, so that's, that could be a con, but these are really minor accessories that you would get anyway. To be honest, the front fork suspensions on the Super73 S2 is better. It's more comfortable. Whereas this is on the stiff, rigid side of suspensions. Like, do not get this bike if you plan on going off-road more than you are on the pavement. I know it's dual suspensions, but, a lot of folks try to get away with classifying this as off-road. I know some folks that have taken this bike off-road and they immediately regret it, and that's because it's not a comfortable ride. Anytime you go off-roading, maybe light trails like this, we'll try it right now, and that will be okay. But as soon as it gets kind of like bumpy, gravelly, I don't recommend it. Every time I've said it before in my channel, I don't recommend scrambler style on mountain bike trails, basically. In terms of bunny hop, yeah, it's pretty heavy, even in the rear end of the motor. Pretty heavy. I'm having problems bunny hopping the rear end. There are heavier e-bikes out there, like the Juice bikes are like 100 plus, the Saunders is 100 plus, the Mad Mod. So things to consider, the weight, for sure. The other con that I know, or at least a little quirk that I don't like, is when you're charging the battery port is down here. So, you always have to crouch real low to kind of get your battery charged up at home. Or besides that, you can always obviously remove the battery. I mean, if I had a nitpick too, these Shimano derailleur, it's not the best quality. This is like a very standard. It's a standard 7-speed Shimano. But at the same time, I'm just going to segue into the pros. To me, that's a pro because at least you have gears. There's a lot of, like for example, the Super73s, they don't come with gears. That's like an additional, I forget, like $250 plus installations and what have you. So yeah, segueing into the pros, it already has gears, it functions, and again, being on a scrambler style, I rarely change my gears, to be honest. I'm always around the mid gears. I never find myself in a situation where I would have to shift my gears so much. I've never been in this area, so we're exploring. We're e-bike adventuring, and we're gonna do some off-road a little bit here. I could see some flat trails here, so let's check it out. We're gonna get a little bit dirty. The pros is it handles nice. It's pretty nimble. In terms of turns, I could turn pretty sharp on this bike versus a Super73. I have not washed out on this bike yet, thank God. But on a Super73, I've washed out before because, I don't know, I guess the tires are not as grippy. And yeah, this bike has not failed me within that 500 miles, guys. This is very reliable. I don't even think I had to pump airs like off the box. Like I don't think I've ever had to reapply air. Again, we don't know where we're going. It could be a little sketch here, but we're under the freeway, and I believe that's a 605. Another pro is this is a very efficient e-bike in terms of the gears, and then the pedaling aspect, the PAS. It goes up to 5 PAS settings, and I know that in PAS 1 I can get it up to 19 miles per hour, and that's really efficient in terms of getting by. So on throttle only, I was able to get 39 miles on this at least, and it still had 1 bar. I know I can get more. If I were to pedal, I'm confident I could get this to 60 miles range. Obviously not going 30 plus miles per hour, but cruising range, I know I can get this to around 60 miles range. Okay, it looks like there's nothing that way, so we'll explore it this way. We'll try to stick by the Santa Fe Dam recreation area. But I'm seeing a few homeless encampments here. And they have like cool bikes too. They're like bike collectors. This bike is the torquiest bike I know at $2,000 off the shelf, meaning you just buy it. Obviously the DIY bikes, those don't count because they're DIY, they're not off the shelf. At $2,000, this is the torquiest and fastest bike that I know, and that basically give you the most for your dollar, pound per pound. I don't know any better in terms of scrambler style. They just came out with the Mad Mod. That's like $1,500 when it was first out, but that motor is peaks only like 750 watt, and then it only goes up to 28 miles per hour. This bike gets you out in a pinch, like when you're in the streets, and going up to 36 miles per hour and what have you. So it's really helpful in that aspect. And on hills, really great on hills. Where are we going? Where does this go? Do I make a right or a left? Let's make a left. What else can I say? Pros is, it has gears. It's the motor is 1,000 watt to 2,000 watt, and the controller has enough amp. I believe it's like up to 35 amp to give you that torque and the top speed, 36, 35 miles per hour for me. Let's go up this hill. Phew. Oh, this is mountain biking right now. Something I don't recommend on this bike, but I mean, it's not bad. Yes, sir. We climbed that up like nothing. That's the pro of this bike. It's a very efficient machine. We're on top of a little hill here. I found like a few little jumps there, but very sketchy jumps, especially for this Ariel Rider. Now, I wouldn't even do those jumps on a mountain bike. Okay, I've lost trails. I don't really see a trail anymore. Yeah, this bike is really jolty too. So, and that could be a pro, but if you're not expecting it, it can jolt you. 1,000 to 2,000 watt motor for me is like more than enough, and in my applications. Even with the Super73 torque update, it doesn't stand a chance against this bike. Not the 52 volts, at least. Even the 48 volt X-Class is adequate for most, and even that was like as fast as the RX last time I checked. This is some rugged terrain. So if you ever take this on the trails, you would just have to stand up. And if you're okay with that, then great, you know. But I love my electric mountain bikes being very light, and like it's something I can really control, you know. Probably a pro is it's not a loud bike. It's pretty quiet, the motor. It's as noisy as the Super73 S2 or the R or the RX. Okay, let's try to get some jumps. Let's plow here. Let's max a little bit. Kind of get a feel of the motor a little bit. But the biggest pro is it has great leg extensions. So I could pedal because I'm a pedal enthusiast. With the Super73 S2, you can pedal, but it has such short cranks, and then the geometry of it doesn't really work. That most people, we just went through some rock garden. Most people in the Super73 pedal for like 4 seconds, and then they would just let the motor do the rest, right? With this one, I'm strictly pedal. Like I could propel this bike and get it up to at least 19 miles per hour, sometimes even 22 miles per hour, just by pedaling. So that's very efficient in my book. I know. Oh wow, there he is. There's a fox looking. Okay, it's like a big coyote right there. Yeah, I guess sometimes they're prevalent here too. It's pretty cool. Anyhow, as I was saying, the pro is the biggest pro is obviously the price point of this e-bike. $2,000 or $2,100, no shipping, no tax. That's really a great value, in my opinion, for what it has to offer. I know I didn't go over the detailed specs because, I mean, that's all online already, you know. What else can I say about this bike? I like the tires. It has really good low rolling resistance. I've said it before. It's the CST tires 20x4, and it's amazing. It just likes to roll. In the long run, that will add range, if that makes sense. For example, I'm not doing anything, and it's just rolling. Just keeps on rolling. If you're just lightly trail riding like this, and if you're looking for more of a commuter bike in the city on pavement, this bike is a great choice, in my opinion. It definitely doesn't break your bank the way other e-bikes would. Every time my friends or family ask, it always comes down to how you like to ride and what terrain do you like to ride it on. Like, what are you in the market for? And that will determine what kind of e-bike I can recommend. Can you do wheelies on this bike? No, I don't think so. It's very front heavy. Can you do jumps on this bike? I would not recommend doing jumps on this bike because it's very rugged. That's why I have an electric mountain bike. This is great, again, for urban use, city, maybe delivering food, Uber Eats, or Postmates, because again, 36 miles per hour e-bike off the shelf at $2,000. I mean, I don't know any that's faster at that price point. So comment below if you do know something. But to me, this is a lot of bike for that price point, and I think it's a great choice. Folks, I hope this video was helpful to you. I hope I have inspired you to get an e-bike by now. Like and subscribe for more content. Check out the useful links in the description below for additional discounts on your Ariel Rider or Super73. Those are my top e-bikes for pavement and slight off-road like this in terms of terrain. But if you're more mountain bikey, check out my URL link in the description below. for your bafang kit build. Whichever the case, get outside, get an e-bike, save some gas, and just have fun. This is E-Bike Adventures. See you guys in the next one. Peace.